Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, thank you very much, Pete. Pete in the morning kind of set the tone and said the great thing about these conferences is that over the couple of days we come together and use the opportunity to network, and if we listen to each other, hopefully you can take away one or two nuggets. So I hope you might find one or two nuggets in my presentation. I tried to make it a real balance between kind of industry information as well as some of the specific customer experiences and the implications of leveraging new media to really change the opportunity with the overall channel sales and the types of partners you can work with. So the traditional enablement costs are what I would associate with highly expensive channel account managers, partner account managers. This is no surprise. I mean, this is the 80-20 rule, right? Where you put 80% of your effort on the 20% of your biggest partners that bring the biggest bang for the buck. And at the last conference that Pete and I were at the end of January, it was really interesting that I think the trend amongst most companies over this last year has been to kind of pull in the horns, right? And batten down the hatches. And so it was, I think the term was cut the dead wood. So it was kind of like, we look at social media, and a lot of people think of new media or social media primarily as kind of the consumer-oriented, or at least social media that started primarily as consumer-oriented, such as Facebook and Twitter. So let's take a moment here and just kind of do a refresh on what each of these social media technologies, kind of the pros and cons of each. So Facebook and Twitter, the pro is lots of people familiar with how to use the technology, a lot of people using the technology. The downside is it's pretty consumer-oriented. So especially like with Facebook, I don't know about you, but I start getting this uncomfortable blending of business partners wanting to friend me, and really all I want to do is share some pictures with my family and friends, and I like the guy in business, but I really want him to see pictures of my baby nephew. Twitter's pretty interesting in the sense that companies can now broadcast. They were launching a new product, a new IP-based telephone, and they felt that the real competitive advantage that they wanted to make in the marketplace is they wanted to borrow from the page of Apple and iTunes. They felt that their phone would be much, much more successful if they could get lots of third parties building applications on top of their phone. And so they needed a way that they could create a community around the developers, share with the developers the APIs and toolkits, allow them to chat and collaborate with each other, and to be able to get those developers both excited about building applications on the phone, enabling them to do that, and enabling them to share best practices to do so. And then the final example here is we actually have an open community in Partnerpedia where we allow all companies, big and small, so to leave you with kind of the top 5 tips and tricks for setting up and starting your own community. First of all, what are the goals? It seems, I guess, maybe really obvious or redundant, but by goals I mean, what specifically are you trying to achieve with this community? I think that's where a lot of times, like the Twitter, the Facebook kind of stuff, there aren't really clear goals. You do it because you kind of think, well, we got to do it because everyone else is doing it. But if you're clear about the goals, like, we're really trying to get more feedback on new product launch. We want to increase the lead and demand generation or increase sales because we're responding to our partners' requests to be able to find, connect, and collaborate with each other. We want to have more real-time measurement of who are active partners, what kind of content they like, and be able to respond to that. The WIFT, the what's in it for them. Usually partners want more leads. They want more tools. They're looking for deal support. They're looking for help to get into new markets. So, that's all the requests we get. The problem is often, and you heard it in some of the earlier presentations, especially when your company has a lot of different product offerings, you're in a diverse number of markets, obviously one size does not fit all. And I think communities that allow this kind of collaboration, it can be much more self-selected, where partners can ask the questions and put themselves into the smaller collaboration rooms where they can get the information and the answers that they're seeking. How will I drive adoption? One of the big learning examples, big successes that we've had concept of a community manager. So we kind of rent out our